We're live. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your girl Siren on the Siren Speak Show. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Hello to everyone. Hey y'all. I know your girl is a little late. I know your girl is a little late, but I'm here now. That's all that matters, is that I am here now. Hey y'all. Hey to everyone who's tuned up into. Thank you guys so much. Y'all don't forget to give the video a big old fat thumbs up. All right. Hey y'all. We are going to be talking about some good stuff today, honey. Shout out to y'all for tuning in, because y'all done got your girl at the right time. Yes, you did. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right. Hey, y'all. So I didn't get a chance to update y'all, letting y'all know that I was going to be live finally. Y'all know I be switching things up sometimes because, y'all, it's hard out here for a pimp. When you're trying to get that money for the rent, for the Cadillac and gas money spent, will cause a whole lot of jumping ship. Okay, y'all know, be ready to jump ship out here. So today we're going to be talking about, now listen, the thing about it is that we're going to be talking about when to work with your own energy, how to get your own energy, and when to work with outside forces, or when to work with outside energies. The reason I'm talking about this, y'all, is because y'all know I'm always asking for a testimony, right? Those of you who work with me, I'm always like, oh, I need a testimony, I need a testimony, I need a testimony. And I do, right? I want a testimony. Hold on, y'all, I got some on the screen. I do want a testimony. But what I notice is that I'm kind of working with the wrong energies, and not all of you, okay? But some of you are just like not the class of people or the level of people that I should be working with. And I'm not getting results because it's kind of like giving a 12th grade teacher trying to teach a 3rd grade class and then giving them a test and expecting them to pass. They're just not ready for those life lessons. They're just not ready for that knowledge, that insight, that clarity, that truth. And this is why I'm very particular now with who it is that I am working with. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you guys already know how I am. I'm very selective about who I work with because I really want you guys to get the results. I really want you guys to raise and level up, because when you blow up, I blow up, right? We all blow up. So I've been getting a lot of messages about, the type of work that I want to do, the type of work that I need to do. And I've realized that, I'm not the teacher for the students. I am the teacher for the teachers of the students. You know what I'm saying? So when I work with a lot of you, and I look into your energy and I'm like, God, you just don't know how powerful you are. I get to see a higher version, okay, of folk. I get to see you at a very powerful energy, right? And I'm like, hey, you got to do this work. This is the work that you need to do so that we can get out of a lot of these contracts. A lot of us are in contracts that we have not gotten out of as of yet, okay? A lot of us are in contracts that we don't even know about. Right? A lot of us are binded or bound to things that we have no clue or no idea. A lot of these bindings are showing up in the form of obsessions, okay? They're showing up in the form of anxiety or panic. They're showing up in the form of self-sabotage. I speak a lot about the need for self-love amongst a lot of people. Y'all, I gotta work on self-love as well. Right? I'm still working on self-love. I still do things that I know are not in alignment with my highest good. Now, granted, I don't do a lot of, crazy stuff. I have narrowed some things out of the way that I used to do that were not in alignment with my highest good. So I've gotten better, but I'm still doing things that I know may not be in alignment with my highest good. So that's always going to happen, or that's always going to be there. We are always going to be a work in progress. But the thing about it is that we want to be able to conquer at least some of those demons. Some of these demons that we're dealing with are not ours. Okay, we all have our own demons, and we can't even deal with our demons. Our demons are out of control because we're so busy dealing with demons that have been attached to us, demons that are just, living and feeding off of us, right? So we need to make sure that we work on ourselves, you guys, to get rid of all of those low vibrations, all of those low energies and entities that can easily manipulate themselves, and they can easily cloak their energy into, like I say, obsessions and addictions and, overspending, all of that stuff right there. So with that being said, you guys, there's a next level of work that I want to focus on, that I'm focusing on. There's a next level of work that is going to require a little more energy than what we have been doing, you know what I'm saying, and the other work. As we do work, you guys, it's not just about what you know. A lot of y'all, I'm noticing, are in cycles. You get a foot out of a cycle, but that other leg steady spinning up and through it, right? And we have to make sure that each year, you guys, we're moving out of cycles. We got to make sure that we're seeing the difference. We're seeing the change, not just within us. Okay, because if you're saying, well, I can see the change in me, I feel different, I react different, I respond different, but that's just the first phase of the change, right? The first phase of the change is the way you feel, the way you react, and then, there are higher levels to that change. So a lot of us, we start working and then, we kind of stop, or we kind of fall off because we get a little complacent in that little bit of relief that we get. So it's like this next level, you guys, is going to require for us to do more heavier. Okay, heavier type of working, meaning now we have to go to a point where we have to remove prior programming. Okay. And removing that programming is not the easiest thing to do. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it's not the easiest thing to do, because now we have to work on the mind control. Okay. Meaning, let's say one of the workings may be not eating. Okay. Just not eating, because understanding that the body doesn't need food, right? When we've been programmed that we have to eat in order to live. Right? But what is living when we eat? What is it that is living when we consume foods? Now, a lot of us, majority of us, especially over here in Americas, are consuming food that we know have been, laced with a lot of things that are not good for us. So what needs those toxins, that we're placing within the body? Perhaps you get rid of that and you'll see, you know what? I don't need to eat. We've been programmed to eat 3 meals a day. That's too much. That is too much consuming. We have to make sure that the body is balanced. And if we continue to put too much of this heavy energy into or onto the body, you guys, then we will feel stuck. We will feel complacent. We will feel like no matter what I do, I'm just not getting what it is that I want, or I'm not experiencing what it is that I want. We will have a lot of heavy issues. Okay. So things like the needing to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, y'all, that is too much. That's too much food in one day. Okay. Also the need to, take in certain amounts of water. Y'all, I don't know if any of you follow, but if you follow my vlog channel, you guys, you will see my dilemma, what I had, my situation that I had with water, and trying to consume a lot of water, thinking we have to take in more and more and more and more water. You guys, our body naturally produces the water that it needs, regardless of your weight. Regardless of your weight, our body naturally produces the amount of water that we need. So everything else that we eat is extra water, right? When we get dehydrated, the reason we can possibly get dehydrated, and I use possibly, okay? But the reason we can possibly get dehydrated is because there's something else in your energy that is absorbing your fluid, your water. Okay. When we have outside attachments, meaning we have to now hydrate us plus them. So if you're somebody who's feeling like you need to consume more water, or you're feeling very thirsty, or you're feeling very dehydrated, or maybe you feel like you need to eat more, that is a time to not eat more, but that is a time to say, okay, what done attached itself to me that I got to feed now? It's like a woman who's pregnant. The minute those babies get in your body, you like, oh, I'm eating for 2. Or like me, I'm eating for 3. because you have another entity that is now attached to you via that umbilical cord. So you got to eat for all of you. So it's the same way when it comes to our aura. You're sitting here and you have all of these outside attachments, okay, that you have to feed as well. Some of them, it could be food. Some of them, it could be alcohol. Some of them, it could be drugs or prescription pills. Some of them, who knows what it can be, okay? Sometimes it can be intimacy that they require. You notice you tend to be intimate quite frequently. You know what I'm saying? And then they want you to do more and more and more and more. So like I said, it can easily manifest in the form of some sort of addiction or some sort of obsession, okay? Hey to everyone who's tuned in. Hey, y'all. Hey, Janice. Janice in the building. Oh, Janice. Got that Sagittarius energy all up and through, honey. Yes, yes, yes. So this is a message of responsibility, y'all. Okay, this is a message of responsibility. I did get some new cards, but I don't know what I did with them, y'all. Oh, we got the fall energy. Shout out to those of you who got the box. I hope you guys are really enjoying the fall box. I wish I had, one to show y'all, but I don't, because y'all know they sell out really, really, really quick, okay? I'm going to be listing some more of the boxes. Y'all just give me some time to come up with more of the product, okay? But yeah, we have to make sure that we're working on our bodies, you guys, because I've gone through several phases when it comes to spirituality. And you guys know when I first started, got introduced into the spiritual practice, okay, spirituality is what I want to say. I was introduced through Santeria. Okay, Santeria introduced me to Orisha. Okay, and Santeria is a play off of Yoruba. Okay, so you have Yoruba, which is like an African based spirituality and practice and things of that nature. And then Santeria kind of picked it up. I think it's all just one, big play, because even paganism, all of that, y'all, it's the same thing. Excuse me. It's the same thing. The thing of it is this, y'all. We're all born with gifts. We are spirits having a human experience, okay? To deny or to denounce your spirituality is the first sign of issues, okay? We've been programmed to deny or denounce our spirituality. We've been programmed to seek outside of self, right? For any and everything, just call on Jesus, okay? And then they've gotten to the point where they, advise us to work with Orisha, okay? Yeah, excuse me, I got too many lights going up here. Y'all know how it is, okay? They want us to work with Orisha, right? Then they want us to work with our ancestors, okay? Then they want us to work with, elements and things of that nature. We got to work with earth, fire, water, air, okay? It's like so much that we're depending on outside of ourselves. And the point of this video is to get you to put more energy into you. Okay. Now, there are levels to this, you guys. There are levels to it, because when I first got introduced to spirituality, even though my gift is the same as it is today, I just didn't know it then. I wasn't aware of it then. I wasn't, educated on it then, or I just wasn't, as into it, okay, or just not knowledgeable of it then than I am now. So when I first got into spirituality, I told you guys I was introduced through Santeria. I didn't know that. Now, for me, I evolved out of Santeria, okay, but I was in it for probably about 2 years, at least two, maybe 2 or 3 years, you guys, maybe 2 years, I think 2 or 3 years, I don't know, but I was in it for a couple of years. And although it's not the path for me, I don't think any path is a path specifically for me. I'm kind of like some of everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't close myself off to one path of knowledge or one book or one Bible, or, I don't close myself off. That's why I say I'm a very spiritual person as opposed to a very religious, person. And as I evolved through spirituality, I got to the point where I was introduced to Orisha. Okay. And Orisha, working with Orishas, Okay, Orisha is very it's necessary. I feel like Orishas are very nurturing, okay? They're very nurturing, but Orisha to me gives off more of a human, okay? Type of with ego and things of that nature. It's kind of like ego is involved a little bit because the way they portray Orisha to us, that could be what it is the way they portray it to us, like, oh, you are a child of Oshun, you are a child of Shango, meaning you're under them, okay? You're beneath them, right? So when you go into and get introduced into Orisha, it's kind of like you're a servant. You know what I'm saying? You're a child. You're beneath them. You're lower than. You're lesser than. So then they have to crown you. Okay, if you want a little higher energy, they have to crown you with that Orisha. And I just was not comfortable with that phase of it. Shout out to everybody who is, right? Nothing against it. I feel like it was a necessary phase or necessary step for me to get to where it is that I want to go, right? So after Orisha, right, I noticed that I moved into ancestor, okay? Orisha led me to ancestors, okay? So now I'm moving and I'm working and I'm walking with ancestors at this point. Now, ancestors, the higher your frequency, the higher of the ancestor you can reach. Okay. At this point, for a majority of us, we probably could only reach, Aunt Pearl or, Grandma Maybell or, Grandpa Lee or things of that nature. We can probably access or gain access to them. And although they've passed on, remember how they were in when they were alive. As they've passed on, they may not even be comfortable being deceased as of yet. So who knows what their power is. So, we have to give them energy. We're constantly feeding and feeding and offering and offering. We have to give them all of this offering, right? In order for us to, get results or, get things that we want. We're steady offering and giving and things of that nature. So after ancestor, I moved to God and Goddess, okay, where I started working or being in contact with, people like, what are their names? Okay, let's think of the names. Hathor, Latana or Leto. Oh God, what is her name? The one that's connected to the elephant. Okay. Oh my God, the one that is Lakshmi. Okay. Lakshmi. Who else? It's so many of them, y'all. It's so many of them. Now, so once I moved into the phase where now these gods and goddess are now the ones that are working with me, they didn't want no, I don't know how people say, oh, I'm gonna give Lakshmi some pineapples or, or things of that nature. They don't need or feed off of the physical things, okay? Maybe Orisha and maybe ancestors. But when you get to that level or God or goddess, there's a totally different offering. It really isn't an exchange. Your offering is, how do I want to describe this? The offering is your growth. It's almost like your testimony is your offering when you're working with that next level of spiritual energy. Your testimony, they're only going to come to you. They don't care if you want $500. You're not going to go and Lakshmi, they ain't trying to get you no $500. She's not trying to get you money or any of those things. They feel literal to me. This is my experience. Okay. They feel disrespected when we come to them, with these petty requests, right? When you start working with God and Goddess, it is when you are moving through ascension. It is when you are ready for that kundalini. It is when you are ready for that next level of activation to be brought upon you. Okay. You're not giving them no apples and oranges. You're not giving them no pine cones or no water. What you're going to give them is your level, your level up. That's what they want. Your ranking. Okay, because now they're bringing you into a dimension or into a next level of existence to where you are ready for a bigger cause. You are ready for a bigger, job, shall I say. Okay. And the more people you can touch, the more people you can activate. Okay. This is what they are known for. I've heard so many people say they reach out to these guys and or goddess for cars, and homes and things of that nature. Upon my experience, it is very distasteful to do that. You only work with them and they only work with you, shall I say. Okay. Remember, it's like going to a company. When you work at a company, it's very rare or random that you will get to meet the CEO. Maybe when you first start at orientation, they might have the CEO come. You always just see a picture of the CEO on the website or things of that nature, but you hardly ever really get to see and or have a conversation with or sit down with a one-on-one with the CEO or the company. It depends on your level. Okay. When you are now an executive inside of the company, then you will have meetings with the CEO. Then you will get to see and meet the CEO or the board members or things of that nature. Now, okay. So after you work with the god and or goddess, this next level, see, that's why I say you got to be ready. This next level stuff, after you work with the gods and or goddess, you guys, it's like beings. You got dragons, you got fae, you got like bugs, spiders. Y'all, it's some next level stuff out there. I'm finally able to say it, okay? But there's some next level stuff. You work with frequencies, okay? Some of these things, they're not a god and or a goddess. They're what the god and goddess is made up of. So you start working with energies and frequencies and sounds. It's not a person or a thing or a being or a body of some sort. It's something that you can't describe what the it is. Sometimes it is a shape, like a geometrical shape that you like, I don't know what that is, but I see it, I feel it, and it can converse with you. Just imagine a shape floating in front of you. Now, this is just to give you a physical, example of it, but a shape floating in front of you, talking to you. Okay, it gets higher and higher and higher, like that. Now, you ain't finna go and get in contact with no damn shape and be like, I need a new house, I need a new car, or I need money, or things of that nature. No, some of us, it's time for us to, level up and get into a higher ranking. It's time for us to get in contact with higher energies and have higher experiences than, what it is that we have been coming to. And I myself was given this advice from an energy that I came in contact with that has been working with me and helping me, and let me know that, listen, you're trying to teach the wrong class. You have higher, okay, beings, like higher, there's teachers, there's gods and or goddess. And this is why I tell a lot of you, I say, listen, y'all don't know who you are. Y'all too busy trying to be, John Jacob on that ID. When really you are a god that is asleep, or a goddess that has not awakened yet. But when you guys start doing the work and you start to awaken to the physical bullshit. Like, oh, I'm making more money. I got more money. I got more this. Okay, how many people have you touched today? How much energy are you working on? Are you still doing your baths? Are you like on top of your energy every day? Like, it's bigger than the money, y'all. It's bigger than the physical stuff. That stuff is a side effect of what it is that we should be doing. But if we're still focusing on the financial aspect, if we're still focusing on love and relationships and things of that nature, we have bigger things that we need to be focusing on. Okay, that is where it is that we will go and end up. We got to focus on, a lot of us don't even know how to leave the body when we pass on. A lot of us don't know what realm we're going to go to when we pass on. We still trying to focus on becoming a millionaire. Okay, you're not going to be able to take none of the millions with you when you leave. You need to be trying to focus on the strength that you can take with you when you go. That's what we need to be focusing on. So that's why I say, when I work with people, I don't want to work with people who still want the physical, mundane, material aspects of it. That is a side effect of becoming who you are. You would think that with the way I help people, that I would be in this big old mansion and have driving fancy cars and things of that nature. You would think that I would be, listen, y'all. This is why God gave it to me the way he gave it to me. I'm gonna give it to you so you can use it for everybody else. Because I know if you use it on yourself, I know if you use it on yourself, you know what the outcome probably would be. Okay. No, but seriously, you guys, I did that when I first got into my spiritual lifestyle. You guys, I did that, y'all. I manifested all the money, but I'm gonna tell y'all that comes with that, honey. I did it. I did the money spells and the abundance and the this and the that, and I got all of that stuff. I remember when I wanted to purchase a home, and I'm so glad I didn't. This is why I say you got to work with the right people. You got to work with the right energies because they show you the bigger picture. I remember when I wanted to purchase a home, right? And y'all, I'm looking at $1 million homes. Like these homes were 1 to 2 million. I think the cheapest one was like 850,000, right? I'm looking in a neighborhood that you can't even go look at homes in this neighborhood unless you show verified funds. Like you got to show you got the money in the bank in order for them to show you homes in that area. Y'all, I had to have seen at least 20 homes in that area. Okay. When you go through, it's a security gate. You can't even just drive through. It's a big security gate where you got to show them your ID and you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff. Like I was like, this is what I want to live at. This is going to be my house. Y'all, I'm up in these people on the dang on belief. I'm looking at these houses like, this is what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. But that wasn't the house that I was looking for. Remember, I always tell you guys, your body is your house. I was looking for this, right? I wanted this to be better. I wanted this to be bigger. I wanted this to be powerful. The way the way your house is now is the way your physical house is, okay? That's what you want to know. Your house can only match your body. That's it. If you vibrate towards, a big old nice fancy house, but it may come with a lot of bills, a lot of responsibility. Now you got to, have maids to come and clean it up because it's so big. And, now you got to pay taxes and stuff on it. And, now you got a hefty mortgage, things of that nature. Like there's a lot that comes with that, with the upkeep. But if you do it right, if you do it where you are in alignment with it, you guys, there's a whole other experience that you can have with that house, where that house is now paid for. Okay. This is why I say you got to work on you guys. I know a lot of us, it does take time to get here. And I don't ever want to put messages out there that I feel like are probably too advanced, but I feel like some of you are actually ready for this next phase. And this is just something that y'all need to know. Okay. Those who need to know will know. Those who this message is for will hear it. Okay. But yeah, we definitely got to make sure that we are, putting that energy into you, putting all that energy into you. When you're doing candle work, y'all, like, do candle work for better health, do candle work for wisdom, do candle work for enlightenment, for spiritual growth, for satisfaction, for insight, for authenticity. Like we got to stop doing it for the material and mundane, and we got to level it up to that next level, because I tell you, that car you want is going to be a side effect of the work that you do. That house you want is going to be a side effect of the work that you do on yourself. Okay. All of those things that you desire, that should not be the goal. The goal is obtaining the frequency, okay, that is required to vibrate towards that, where it is now finding you and you're not searching for it. Okay. All right. So we are going to, let me see, get this message, honey. Get this message. Okay. Y'all had some cars I had got. I was like, oh, I'm going to use these. I don't know what I did with them dang on things. I don't know what I did with them. But shout out to y'all. Okay. Shout out to everybody, like I said, who got your box. Okay. Shout out to y'all. I hope you guys are really enjoying it. Okay. Those boxes are definitely very, very powerful. And you guys really should be enjoying the bath that came with it. Ooch. I took the bath, okay? I tell you, I do everything y'all do, okay? I really do. I do everything y'all do. I took the bath. And I told y'all, I don't know if I said that on the last live I did. Well, y'all, life has been like really crazy. Now, listen, it's just weird things that happened to me after I took the bath. Not weird as in bad, but it was like a good weird, y'all. I started having all type of experiences. The way people responded to me was different. Okay, people were just like, I had women. Listen, y'all, I had a pregnant woman with a baby in her arm and a baby in a stroller. This woman pulled the door open. Now I'm coming up behind her. We going in the store. She pulls the door open, right? She moves the stroller over, got a baby in this arm, holding on to the stroller with that arm, and kicks that door open and hold it open with her foot. She's pregnant. Holds it open. She said, go ahead. And I was like, oh, girl. No. She was like, no, go ahead. Go. Now, listen. At one point, I felt very uncomfortable with that because I'm like, dang, girl, you got all these babies and you sit up here opening the door for me and holding the door open for me. Like, what the heck? You have got to learn to be comfortable in your success. See, we're comfortable in check to check. We don't got comfortable with, dollar for dollar. And the minute we get a $40,000 check, we ready to just ball out because we uncomfortable with that money. We scared to hold on to it because it makes us nervous knowing we got money in the dang gone bank. Oh, I got 40,000. You sit over there thinking of everything you finna pay or buy or get or do. Y'all, we think that that's something healthy, but that is actually anxiety. When money come, we can't let it sit. We got to find 50 million ways to get rid of it as soon as we get it. Every time. That is being comfortable with lack. We've seen people or heard of people who have won the lottery and broke. Y'all, a lot of us, the thing that we asking for is the one thing that we don't want because we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to hold on to money. We don't know how to hold on to comfort. We feel like every time we get something, we got to find something to do. Or what's going to happen if you make more money? Then you're going to get more expenses. You're going to go get a more expensive car. You're going to go get a more expensive place to live. You're going to go buy more expensive clothing. You're going to eat more expensive food. You're going to find ways. Now, just imagine what happens when you kind of keep things the way they are, but you got all of this extra money. This is why we're not able to see any extra money. Because we're going to find extra things to do for that money to go towards. We're not comfortable being wealthy, y'all. Perhaps in a past lifetime, some of you, maybe you were very wealthy. Maybe you were wealthy kings and or queens. Maybe you were beheaded. A lot of you were beheaded over your wealth, over your status, over your kingdom and things of that nature. A lot of you were targeted. Okay, there was a lot of targeting. There still is a lot of targeting of the wealth, of the wealthy. It's everybody think I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. Let me tell y'all something. It's a whole nother level of hate. It's a whole nother level of evil. This type of evil we dealing with, y'all will be grateful. Okay? Let me give y'all just a little quick rundown or something, right? Now, years ago, Bay and I, we had a corner store, okay? We had a corner store, and of course, it was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So you know how it is, a corner store in the hood. Everybody in there all day, you making money. Listen, y'all, black folks spend money. Y'all spend money. LaChurn coming in there, buying $10, $15 worth of snacks, potato chips, pickle lead, hot sausage, lollipops, juices. Look here, LaChurn all day long. LaChurn coming in there on the weekend all day long. Got money. Come sometimes 2-3 times a day. I'm like, damn. Y'all spend money. Y'all could spend some money. But listen, so, Bay and I, we had this corner store. And even like, we had Bay eventually put a pool table in there. Y'all, he used to come up on that damn pool table. I say, oh my God. I didn't know a pool table could make, because you got to put the little coins in there to play the game, right? So it was probably like $3 a game or something like that. Y'all, Bay was cashing out like every other day. Bay was cashing out anywhere from $300 to $600. That's just the damn pool table. That's just me. Now, when they in there, they playing pool, and then guess what they doing? They buying beer. Okay, so they buying a little drink and they playing pool. Okay, so now you get more money from the alcohol. You get more money from some of them get thirsty and eat water. They want some chips. And at one point we did have like a little food. I think for a second we had a guy in there that was cooking food. He'd make some chicken wings and fries and stuff like that. Y'all, it was a nice little setup that we had, right? So anywho, y'all, we in the hood. Okay, we in the hood of Miami, right? For those of you, I think that area is called Liberty City. No, what's that, Liberty City? Off of like 62nd, I think in 17th or 12th, something like that. Not 62nd. We was on 54th or either 40 something street, 46th Street. It might have been 46 or 54. I don't know. One of them. And like maybe that was 22nd. I don't know. Over there somewhere. So y'all, the level of hate. So of course, when you're running like a corner store, you got competition. You got the Arabs back then that was, because they sold hair in their corner store, chips and all that. The Arabs back in them days was the ones running the corner store, thing of that nature. So y'all, they was calling the Department of Health over there on us. They was calling the Department of this. Y'all, they was calling they called the fire department. We had to get our damn fire extinguishers, make sure they were up to date and updated. They were so petty. Y'all, we were constantly downtown filling paperwork. Do you have this paperwork? Do you have that paperwork? Y'all, it's a whole nother level of hate that's going to come for you when you get the money that you're trying to get. This is why I say you need to work on your frequency. You need to work on your frequency, because in order for you to get that level of success that you want, you have to vibrate towards a certain frequency so that you can maintain it. It's not going to be easy, y'all. They coming for you. And here we were, just a little black married couple, got a little corner store in the hood with our people. But guess what? They don't have our people set up for us to survive off of our people. It's the Arabs that was supposed to make the money off of our people in that area. They were the ones who owned the gas stations and the corner stores and, the beauty supply stores and, the hair stores and all of that stuff. It was the Arabs that was supposed to get that. So we thinking, dang, this is going to be a great opportunity for us. Y'all, it's a whole nother level of hate. It's not healthy. You not ready. Let me tell you something. Wherever your finances are right now, it's for your own protection. Because you're not ready for that next level of wealth. You're not ready for that next level of growth or power. Y'all, they come from every which way. Okay, they are everywhere, and you got to know how to deal with these energies. You got to become like that game, that tetherball game. I tell y'all, whether you try to hit it and it go higher and higher. Listen, you got to become that ball up there where they can't reach you, because they coming for you. Hell, they coming for you down here where you at, and you could barely, get 2 steps ahead without them knocking you 7 steps back. They coming for you. They out there. We were not ready for that level of hate. Attack. Like they sent every company, every department, y'all. They had the police coming over there all the time, talking about incidents was happening over there. Oh, it was a shootout over there. We're like, what? There's no damn shoot. Y'all, they gonna come spy, okay? And the halal. That's the halal. Yes, those folk right there. Halal. You see, they put up their little restaurants everywhere. Halal is some wicked. They don't play like, listen, they on a whole other level, allegedly. Okay, they on a whole other level of the way they attack you. Y'all, these battles, these motherfuckers don't fight physical. See, y'all ready for somebody to come. Oh, I wish you would. Pull up. They not pulling up in the physical, y'all. They attacking you while you sleep. They attacking you in the middle of the night. Because see, while you in your bed and you in dream number 3, they over there, they over there calling out your name. It's not a game, y'all. Your battle is not in the physical. They will never approach you in the physical. And even when they approach you in the dream state, y'all, listen. the attack is real. Even with me doing spiritual candies, okay? Hey there, everybody. With me doing spiritual candies, right? I I come on, I want to, of course, I'm a teacher, I'm a healer. For those of you who have worked with me, you have tremendous, okay? Tremendous testimonies. All right. If y'all got a testimony, don't say it, but just put a thumbs up in the in the chat, right? Let everybody know that you didn't hold on to that testimony. Whatever that testimony was, hold on to that testimony, you guys. Don't let that go. Don't feel like, oh, I don't feel off. Or don't feel like, oh, I ain't, it ain't, it's gone. Don't feel like it's over. Okay. Hold on to that testimony, right? Claim it, you guys. All right. Now, when it comes to these next level of the way that they attack you, you guys, when it comes to that level of the way that they attack you, y'all, it's not a fair fight because we have been programmed to believe that we have to fight physically. We have to fight physically. We've been programmed to believe that the spiritual way is bad, but that's what they're using to attack you, even with the programming. Even with the programming through the music. Crystal, you the only one in here? Shout out to you. Crystal say, I got a testimony, honey. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to you, Crystal. Okay. So yeah, you guys, even through the programming of the food, okay, the drinks, the programming of the TV stuff that we watch, y'all, try to watch a movie on mute and see what you pay attention to. See what you see when you're not distracted by the background sounds, the doos or the ding, or hey girl, hey, whatever is in the movie. Watch a movie on mute and pay attention to the paint on the wall, the symbols that they put when you see them in a living room. The scene takes place in a living room. Look at the fucking photos that are on the wall unit or on the wall or on the table. Look at the pillows that are on the sofa. Look at the blankets that they have. Y'all, it's all there. All of the programming, all of the sigils, the signals, the symbols, all of it is there. It's hidden. They're not going to do anything in your face. It is hidden. Okay? So even with you watching your favorite movie or your favorite TV show, you got to know how to watch TV now. You guys, you got to know how to shift and protect your frequency from watching TV. Even when you go to, when I go to the movie theater now, okay? When I don't go there and just sit there and watch that movie. I'm going to make sure that I surround myself. I protect myself before going to see, just the average movie that we think is an average movie. There's a lot of hidden programs that are inside of that movie. Okay. And the reason they don't want you to see them or they keep them hidden is because there is an intention. The intention is to program you. Okay. So a lot of us, we have to break that programming, you guys. All right. We got to stop believing that the battle is in front of us. Now, listen, I know a lot of us say, because a lot of people that I've dealt with have said, listen, I'm covered. God got me. And I laugh when I hear it. Okay. Because as you evolve, okay, you build a very, very powerful connection with what we know of as God. And trust me, you'll be surprised. Okay. For me, this is just Siren speaking on the Siren Speak show. Okay. For me, God is the all pretending to be you. The all expressing itself through you. If we think it leads down to a person or being, then that person or being would be you. God is expressing itself through you and through me. Okay? And with that being said, there is no outlet that will lead you to God. It's all within you. God is within you. God is moving through you. God is all over you. And once you begin to embrace that and say, God got me, then that means you must take the necessary steps. Okay? The necessary steps to make sure that you are safe and protected. You have to take the necessary steps because God gave you everything that you need to do everything you need to do. If we stop sitting around waiting on God or, these outside forces to come through, you guys, those outside forces are waiting on you to get it. Those outside forces are waiting on you, okay, to step into your power, to step into who you really truly are, because you matter. You are very much so relevant in this existence right here. You are very much so powerful. You are very much so blessed. You are God, okay? Acting itself out in the version of you. We are all connected to this same energy. I don't care what they call it. They call it Yahweh, Yahshua, all it. It's the same thing. It gives the energy of grandfather, right? Somebody call him Paw. Somebody call him granddaddy. Somebody call him granddad. Somebody call him whatever. They all have a different name for him, but it's the same person, regardless of what you call it. Okay, it's the same person, it's the same energy that we're all talking about, but we've been programmed to believe that it is a different energy. It is different. Your God, that's my God, and everybody want to take it personally, okay, and claim it for its own, like this religion is the only one who has access to God or that has access. No, you guys, we all, okay, come from this very powerful energy force, whatever you want to refer to it as, him, her, it, everything and nothing at the same time. It's a very powerful force we're talking about, a very powerful energy that can manifest itself in the form of a child, an adult, an animal, okay, a tree, whatever, okay? So as we move forward, y'all, as we, shift into these new dimensions and new realities. Now, a lot of people say we're moving into the fifth dimension. I disagree. Okay. Siren speaking on the Siren Speak show. Okay. I feel like we went into the fifth dimension when technology started coming out. Mainly, meaning like when technology started getting bigger and more, activated, probably like around 1999. Remember when everybody thought the world was going to blow up? So take your money out the bank. Why not? Will we take the money out the bank if the world is? What are we going to do? What does that mean? It was so funny. But anywho, I feel like back in 1999, we moved into the fifth dimension back then, which then introduced, everybody having cell phones. It wasn't as popular as they are now, because even little kids, you have 2-year-olds, going to daycare with a damn cell phone in a diaper bag. Okay. The craziest thing I've ever seen. Mom's like, just in case I need to call my baby or my baby need to call me. These 2-year-olds know how to FaceTime better than anybody. They don't want to talk to you or now they want to FaceTime you. How you doing? These kids are something else. Okay. So I personally feel like we went into 5G back in like 1999. Okay. And around 2012 is when we probably entered like, 6G. Right now, Siren believe we are at like 10G. Okay, I believe we are at 10. We're very high up there, but we're being made to believe that we're so far behind. Okay, I don't think we at no 5G right now, you guys. I really believe that we are at like a 10G, because we're too much into spirituality now. We're moving away from the masculine or the matriarch, okay, the patriarchal, okay, way of living. We're moving out of that, which is more of us planting food, okay, and growing food and working on things of that nature. When we're moving into a more matriarchal society where it's that feminine energy, where you pop it in a machine and it, boop, you know what I'm saying? I personally believe that technology is just the dark side. Doesn't mean it's bad, but I believe it is the dark side of the feminine energy. Instead of them expressing and allowing us to utilize feminine energy, which would be considered magic. It's the spiritual side of things. It's the way it doesn't add up to science or math. It goes against it. And who wants to go against science and math, right? So anywho, when it comes to that feminine energy, instead of them embracing the magic, they rather work with the artificial version of it and introduce, technology. Now we're sitting here thinking, a lot of people feel like when it comes to the stories of the Bible, or those revelations and things of that nature, when they spoke of the Great Flood, a lot of us think that the Great Flood is going to happen where the world is going to have this big arse tsunami, and then water is just going to come and flood the earth. It doesn't happen like that in a physical way, you guys. Okay, according to Siren on the Siren Speak show. This is just my opinion, and everything I'm telling you guys is not facts. It is actually entertainment. So take it as. Shout out to YouTube. Okay. So when we're looking for this great flood, you guys, we think that it's going to be this water that's just going to rise, all over the world, and we're all going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's not that, okay? It is actually something that happens within. Each and every one of us experience the great flood more frequently than we think. You experience the great flood every time you go through a death in your life. You have the death of your teenage years. You have the death of your terrible twos. You have the death of your infantry. You have the death of your 30s, the death of your 40s. We die more often than we think. Okay, so we die more often than we think. So signs that you may be experiencing or about to experience the great flood is when you start to have dreams of the flooding. Ooh, okay. You start to have these dreams of they're tsunami type dreams, you guys, where this flood is just coming. That's why I say, you guys, the subconscious will alert you, and it will let you know that you're getting ready to go through some sort of, transformation, some sort of death and rebirth. You can experience the energy of the great flood when you're about to get a higher paying job, or, you're about to give birth to a baby. Your life is about to change. You're no longer a mother of 4. You're now a mother of 5. Whenever you're getting ready to have some sort of significant change in your life, we experience the great flood. It's not something that we go through as a collective, like everybody is doing it. You're seeing people floating by and things of that nature. No, all of these revelations are things that happen within you. Okay, so remember, he gave Noah. Y'all, listen, I'm not a Bible reader like that, okay? I told you I read the first parts of the Bible, and when I saw what the men was doing with the other men, that was it. I checked out, no lie, okay? I've always been more of a Psalms girl, okay? I love the Bible for the Psalms. They have been very enlightening and very, transformative and very nurturing, okay, to me during my times of stress, okay? So I'm more of a Psalms, okay, type of girl. So I believe his name was Noah. Was that the one who was supposed to build the ark? Right? And was only supposed to take this or that or this. We think, according to Siren on the Siren Speak show, this is what that was saying. Okay? So here we have Noah, right? Who's supposed to take certain animals, certain people, just certain things. You don't need to take everything when you're going over this ark. Okay? These are the conversations that you guys hear all the time. When you hear, especially me, say everybody can't go with you. So when we get ready to go through this form of enlightenment, okay, that's going over the ark. You're getting ready to move from one phase into another phase, right? So what those animals represent are certain characteristics about yourself. You're going to have to take your willpower. You're going to have to take your courage. You're going to have to take your stamina. You're going to have to take your determination. You're going to have to take your perseverance. That's what each of those things, okay, can be representing, right? And in order for you to get to that other side, you can't take everything. Everything cannot go. You're going to have to leave behind your laziness. You're going to have to leave behind procrastination. You're going to have to leave behind some of your addictions, okay? Not all of your addictions can go. Honestly, sometimes some can go, but others can't. So when it comes for us to transition, okay, and go over to another side, meaning we're moving into another version of ourselves, okay? Think about when you move from your teenage years to your adult years, okay? You're getting ready to go over that arc. You can no longer take the fact that you're a child with you, okay? Now you're an adult, okay? You're going to have to leave that whole childhood mentality that I don't have to work, everything going to be paid for, everything, You're going to have to leave that behind, and you're going to have to move into the being responsible and taking care of yourself now that you are an adult. None of us, okay, are waking up every day expecting for everything to be provided as we did when we were 3, 4, and 5 years old. Okay. Some people, okay, still trying to hold on to that and having a difficult time letting it go. I ain't gonna lie. But reality is reality. Okay. So when it comes to these type of, life lessons and these type of programmings, as you start to connect with higher forces, and you'll start to receive a lot of enlightenment and a lot of clarity. That's why I say, if I ask for anything, I always ask for clarity. I always ask for truth. I always ask for, the willpower to search for the truth. To want to know exactly what it is that I can handle. I can't handle all of the truth, you guys. Some of the things that I found out, Lord Jesus, I'm like, oh, you know how you say, you can't handle the truth. The truth, y'all, the truth will probably make you lose it sometimes out there. So, really asking for the right things and understanding the right things that we need to know. And that's why I say, when it comes to a lot of these revelations and things of that nature, don't always seek for that to happen outside of you. It actually happens within you. Okay, it's something that we all go through when we, reach that level. When they speak of, the Christ being taken to the cross, okay, and being X'd off, okay, and then rising in 3 days and things of that nature. There are other meanings that can be associated with that entire experience. The Christ energy. So first, when it comes to that Christ energy, it is a major frequency. Okay, each and every one of you can and will be Jesus Christ. Okay. We all have that energy. It's a form of enlightenment that brings about a very strong and powerful awakening. Okay. And when he was allegedly 33, or when he reached that 33rd level or frequency, okay, that's when the death for Christ was physical, according to the Bible, okay? But the death that we're speaking about is a death of ascension. This is why he rose in 3 days, okay? So he went into the darkness. He went into the energy of death. Okay. And now we got to look at the fact of, now he's 33. He goes into the energy of death. Okay. At the age of 33, and allegedly, he dies and then reappears in 3 days. So when you're going into that energy of death, you guys, when you're going into what we know, the darkness or the dark energy or that energy of death, that is the energy of transformation. Okay. That is that, he has reach that level of, now there's no such thing as death. It doesn't end. Okay, that's another programming that we have to get out of our head, that when we die, it's all over. Why you think you keep coming back? Okay, why do you think you've been here before, if you are aware of that? Okay, as we go through that death, it actually speaks of a transformation. Okay, and then to rise on the 3rd day. When you're talking about days, okay, in the Bibles, he rose on the 3rd month. Okay, the month represents the moon cycle. See, what we know of as a month, we're like, okay, he rose on the 3rd moon, which can then represent, okay, April, May, June. Okay, I know we probably say, wait, hold up, January 5th, the 3rd moon, if you're looking at it according to the way energy is supposed to, with Aries being the leader or Aries being the beginner. So you're looking at Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So he rose on the 3rd day, which would mean he rose during that energy of Gemini. Okay, so there's just certain things that when we read in this Bible, we're looking at this energy. You have to see how relevant it is to you, because this knowledge we're reading is very relevant to each and every one of us. Okay, so when he goes through that, he passes on at the age of 33. They walk him to the cross. Okay, that was a very tough. Okay, going up that cross, going up that 33rd vertebrae, which is that energy of the back. As this energy goes up, it's not the easiest experience, okay? A lot of us have the opportunity to take that path, to take that walk to the cross each month. You don't even know this because it wasn't told to us, okay? Each month, there's a certain time of the month, okay, that you have the opportunity to take that walk, okay, where this energy will rise up your spine up to the 33rd vertebrae. Okay, there's a requirement in order for that to happen, which there is a oil, okay, a oil that we create. But in order for that oil to be released, okay, we have to be vibrating at a certain frequency. We must vibrate at a certain frequency in order for that oil to be released. And as it is released, it is what helps, okay, that serpent to rise, okay, up to the 33rd vertebrae. The serpent that they speak of, it's an energy. It is an energy. And the reason that energy is looked down upon is because it's an energy that actually helps you to escape out of the matrix. It's almost like the key, or one of the keys, to get out of entrapment. Okay, so you have this serpent that rises up, okay, and it must travel up to the 33rd vertebrae, where it then goes up and out. It goes up and out of the crown chakra. So you guys notice a lot of the gods, back in ancient Kemet, they would have that serpent, or they would have that bird coming out the top of their head, always out the top of their head. Y'all, you have it as well. Okay, it is when you reach a certain level of enlightenment that you start to experience it. So now we have him reaching this 33rd vertebrae, you guys, where now the ascension starts to take place. This is where my cup runneth over comes from. Okay, once you go to that 33rd vertebrae, honey, and that cup runneth over, you have a whole other experience that you start to go through. And this is when what we know as Jesus, okay, became an ascended master. So he didn't die like the homie, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who was just, taken out, and that, no. He went through a level of ascension, and this is why he is now considered an ascended master. This is the energy of the ascended master. So according to the Bible, this is the path that we should take. They say you can get to the Father when through the Son, okay, through the energy of the Son. Now, just to give you another example of, how you can read messages in the Bible, when they say, okay, he turned water into wine, we're looking at the energy of the sun, okay, which was able to turn water into wine. So now we have the sun that goes between the northern and the southern hemisphere, okay? And when it gets to a certain point, you guys, this is when we start to experience what we know of as spring, okay? Which is, once spring comes, we move into summer, all right? And when it comes to summer, this is when we usually get our fruit and things of that nature, summer, fall. So what the energy would do is it would bring about certain rain. And this is the water. It will bring about certain rain. You guys notice we get a lot of rain around that time of spring and summer to, water the fruit, grow the trees, and all of that stuff. So, of course, we have what we know as grapes. Okay, y'all already know what wine is made out of. So now here's the water that grows the grapes, and the grapes then produce wine. So when they say he's able to turn water, which is the rain, into wine, it grows the grapes, and they use the grapes to produce and make the wine. Okay. So now we see what one of the things that we can take of it is, oh, he turned water into wine. Okay. And he was able to feed everybody with one fish. Okay. With one fish. Fish always represent the energy of Pisces, which is Neptune, which is an illusion. Okay, so if you can feed everybody with one fish, meaning you're using the energy of Neptune to make everybody feel as if they're full. Neptune is an energy that is very tricky. It is the most trickiest energy. This is where a lot of black magic, white magic, anything connected to magic that is powerful is connected to a Neptune energy on a very high level. So with you having to take that fish and you can feed everybody off of one fish, it is really using the illusion, using the energy of Neptune to make you feel full. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of people doing dark magic spells or any type of magic spell. They can create an illusion to make you look beautiful. Okay, they have beauty spells that they do. They can create an illusion to make you feel pregnant. You got people out here really all type of stuff that they can do. That's that Neptune energy that we're talking about. So they're letting us know right then and there that he was able to use and cast magic and do magic spells on people. Okay, I can make you feel like you're full. I ain't got to give you got 5,500 people and one fish and everybody full. Okay, just tell it for what it is. Okay, he say, how about this? boop, all of y'all full. He pulled out that dang on one, honey, boop, all of you full. Okay. So yes, it's about saying, how he was able to tune into, that magic side, that divine feminine energy, and, create realities or manifest realities for people that, were out of the norm, out of the original, or out of the norm. Okay. That's what I want to say. Hey to everybody who's tuning in. Hey, Anisha. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Jen. Hey, y'all. Hey. So, yes, you guys, these are the things. That's why I say we have to go through a lot of past programming. This is where you guys have to embrace your truth, the truth. Okay. Each and every one of you are a God or goddess, however you want to refer to yourself, in your own right. We have to awaken that version of you. We have to get you to know that you're worthy of that version of you. Your God and or goddess frequency does not require money, right? A big house and things like that. Your God and or goddess frequency is connected to everything. So it feels it's already full, right? Whether it's in a little hut or a big old mansion. But the God and goddess energy is what awakens others. We understand that the common goal is to uplift this whole damn planet, not to buy a house and a car and all of this other stuff, right? It is to help to uplift this planet. We're trying to help assist the cosmos in surviving. And this is why we keep manifesting and manifesting and remanifesting ourselves, trying to make it all make sense. But every time we come back, of course, there are others who don't want it to change. They don't want the new world order. They're like, no, we like it like this because like this, we're in control. Like this, we're wealthy. So if you change everything, we're no longer going to be wealthy. So they made you hate the new world order. They made you fear the new world order. They spoke of it as if it was something evil, wicked, and demonic. No. You want things. Who wants to stay the same? We know in order for us to grow, it must change. Things will change. Your height will change. Everything will change. In order for you to grow financially, your finances must change. That's what growth is. But they have created this stereotype that growing is evil. Growing is bad. No, they tricked us and say, you don't want the new world order. It's bad, it's evil. This is what they're going to do to you. But still and yet, it's the whole trickery. It's the illusion of it all. They have us worshiping, praising, and working for the dead. I want you to name one piece of money or currency that has a live person on it. Just one. That has a live person on it. They got us manifesting, meaning if you want a pencil, you have to go and purchase it with money that has dead people on it. We're using the energy of the dead to manifest our desires. But it's who they want us to work with. They put on there who they want on there, not who you want. So we're keeping alive the energy, the frequency of all of these folk. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. He's gone, right? Why are we working to make a fiat or a money or something, a frequency of the dead? Okay, so we're all in the energy of necromancy. All of us. We're using the energy of the dead to achieve our goals, to acquire our desires. And not only that, we're working and putting in hours to manifest it, to bring these dead energies into our homes, into our lives. Okay? So it's the trickery of it all. That's why I say, if you can read the Bible and really read the Bible, read the stories, and see what's really being said, I just really feel like that will be very beneficial for you. A lot of you are in the Bible and don't even know it. A lot of you, the stories you're reading or the characters that you're reading, some of them are you. But you don't know it. They won't tell you that that is you. Some of you right now have a statue of you in a museum somewhere, but it's not a museum that we can walk in and see. Oh no, these are hidden museums. These are museums that are kept, in deep, deep, deep vaults and stuff that they continue to go to and work with and utilize the energy of it. Some of you, these artifacts that are in some of these museums are some of yours. These gold jewelries and crystal jewelries and swords and all of this stuff, some of this stuff belong to you. Some of you right now have places in this world that people go to worship a older version of you. But what happens is when you have those type of things, they will not write about you in the books. Okay? They will not write about you in the books. They will put out movies to demonize you so that people don't go to worship you anymore. And then the worshiping starts to fall. And this is how they're killing a lot of the gods and or goddess, which are now turning them into demons, which are now turning, and these are, like I said, a lot of these are you, which are now turning them into these lower forces, which means now we have to experience the darker side of that god and or goddess, because when you've been, lies have been written about you, okay? Lies have been written about you. You have been demonized. They're telling everybody that you're this and you're that, and you did this and you did that. Look at what they do to Lilith. Look at what they do to all of the feminine energies. So when you find your truth, when you start to work on yourself and you start to seek truth, you guys, that needs to be something that you ask for outside of finances and outside of love and outside of happiness. I just want positivity. We need to want the truth. The truth will get you all of that. They always say the truth will set you free. Okay? The truth will set you free. A lot of us, we're stuck mentally. This is what's blocking. Remember I said each month we have the opportunity to go through that walk, that 33rd degree walk. Every month, every moon cycle, we have an opportunity to do it, right? But a lot of us were blocked. A lot of us were kind of mentally stuck in a box that is not allowing us to move forward, okay? And in order for us to, it's kind of like you get to a certain level energetically as you move stronger into spirituality, where you start doing work in your dream state. All of us are at a point where we're doing work in the dream state. I don't care who you are. You may not be aware of what you're doing, but you're being pulled into different dimensions. How will you know if you're doing work in the dream state? Okay. First of all, you're going to start dreaming about people who you don't know, but you around these mofos like you know them all your life. You like, I don't know who they was I dreamed about last night. I know none of these people. You are finding yourself in neighborhoods that you don't recognize, but in the dream, this is like your house is on that block, or you're living over there, or you're in a house on that block as if you know it so well. You know it so well, but you like, I don't know who housed that. What? Okay. People, you can be doing things that you don't normally do. Okay. In this dream state. A lot of times, you guys, you can see a mirror, okay? You will walk past a mirror, and when you look in that mirror, you don't look like yourself. You look like your body shape is different. You can be taller, you can be slimmer, you can be, just darker, you could be lighter, you could be heavier, just so you looking in the mirror and, you're just like, God, I woke up and, I dreamed that I was like way taller. Your hair is different, all of that nature. You can also have dreams of utilizing a phone. Okay, you're in a dimension, in certain dimensions, you can actually utilize the phone. I do a lot of recording in my dreams. I call people in my dreams. I FaceTime people. I record stuff and play it back and watch it. Like a lot of that. Has anybody in here ever dreamed about, using a phone or trying to use a phone, or are you guys able to use a phone, or do you recognize that you're now in a dream where there's technology when before there was like not much technology in the dream? It's just like you just dreaming. Only technology you probably have is a car. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, it's never been like phones or computers, or you're using the internet in your dream. Has anyone ever experienced that? Any of y'all use the any type of technology in y'all dream state? Let me see if anybody. Maybe you find yourself trying to use the phone, but you can't get the call through, or you find you lose your phone, or things of that nature. Or have any of you ever sat down in front of a computer in the dream state and sent the email or searched the internet while you're in the dream state, or anything of that nature? Jen, you say yes. Jen says yes. Shout out to you, Jen. Yeah. So are you able to use your the electronics, or do you find yourself having technical issues with using them? Let me see what y'all have to say. Hey, Lindsay. Lindsay up in the building, y'all. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, y'all. Anybody else get to use technology? Are you able to surf the internet, or are you able to make phone calls? Are you able to FaceTime? Are you able to I guess that would be, majority of it, right? Okay, Jen, you say you dream about it, but you have issues. Okay. I think you say I can't remember, but I'm sure I have. Okay. Well, when you get to, that phase of it, you'll be able to kind of pick up on it. You'll be able to remember, because it's a very different experience. So when it comes to technology, remember that it governs the mind. So it can be a form of mind control. This could be a form of erase memories or things of that nature. Technology rules over memories. So whenever you go into the dream state, the more you're able to access technology, it is because there are older versions of you that are connected to those memories. Okay. So when you first start to go through a phase of enlightenment, you'll start to be introduced to technology in your dream state. Okay. Meaning you'll have a phone, but you may not use it, or you will have a phone, but you realize when you want to use your phone, you can't get through, you can't call, something is cutting off. So it's a sign of those memories. You're trying to connect to a older version of yourself, a higher, more mature, more wise version. So subconsciously, it's almost like ET trying to phone home to reach out to another level of yourself. The more you get to know older versions of you, the more you connect with older, more mature versions of you, you will find yourself, you guys, literally being able to access the internet. Like, I remember years ago, I had dreams about the phone, but I was never able to call anyone. It was just like something would always happen. I would always have these technical issues when it comes to using a phone. I didn't even know you could dream about using a dang on computer, but now, not only the first part of the dream state that I started to experience when I was finally able to use the phone, I would try to record things, because it would be strange things happening. I remember I had one dream where strange things were happening in the sky. For whatever reason, in this dream, it was 1984. And I don't know how I knew that, but I knew that it was 84. Okay. And it was this thing that was going on in the sky, and I was trying to record it with my phone. But my phone kept messing up, and I was the only one there with the phone. Nobody else in my dream had a phone, just me. And I'm trying to record. I'm like, oh, but it kept messing up, and I couldn't record it. So now, it's to the point where not only am I able to use the phone, I can call people, I can FaceTime people. I record stuff and I play it back and watch it. You know how you record something on your phone and then I could play it back and watch it and things of that nature. Now, recently, within the last couple of maybe year or month or so, I've been able to actually go to a computer in my dream state, actually search stuff, internet. You know, I'm online in the dream state and I'm literally like looking through, you know, different pages and stuff. So it's all about the information that you're able to access. Technology will give you more and more access. That means that there's energy under Mercury, okay? And also Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, okay? So this means that you're trying to access information, right? This could either mean the need to work with or clear up blockages. It could be that energetically, okay, when you were born, okay, your Uranus could have been, there could have been work done on your Uranus. There could have been work done on your Mercury. There could have been work done on Gemini, okay? I tell you guys, they don't attack you personally. Please stop thinking they gonna come. The people who attack you in the physical, child, those are like the peas, okay? We got to get to the bigger energies that are attacking us on a planetary level, on a cosmic level, okay? They're not coming here and physically attacking you and trying to fight you or call you words or stop your money. No, they're stopping your money before it even gets to you. That $1 million that you're trying to manifest was blocked like 5 lifetimes ago. And unless you connect to that lifetime and heal, okay, a lot of spells that were done on you were done lifetimes ago. Okay. And some of you, you know, have had contracts. Some of you have signed off on contracts. Some of you have denounced your authoritative contract. Some of you like, you know what, I don't even want to be a ruler no more. You know, it's not fun. A lot of us think that, you know, the goal is to become the king, the queen, you know, the emperor, the empress and stuff. Y'all, it's a lot of responsibility up there. Okay. And it's still going to be people coming for you because nobody wants you on that throne, regardless. No, not too many people want you on that throne. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to watch your front, your back, your sides, which means you have to connect to the elements. You have to have that bird. Okay. You need the air, you need the fire, you need the water, you need the earth. Okay. Now, if we're down here damaging Earth, of course, they're going to destroy Earth because they don't want you using it. You having power and connected to Earth will give you the power you need to kick their little arse. So this is why we come here to make sure that Earth gets the energy that it needs because it's a part of our cosmic battle. It is necessary for us to have the physical, tangible, okay, energy. So when we come here, and we get to do our healing here, we have the weapons that we need to protect ourselves. We have the energy that we need to survive. So the more they try to kill off Earth, the more they try to poison Earth, and the more they get us to help with the agenda to lower the frequency of Earth so that they can manipulate us. Like I said, these battles, you guys, you start to realize that they're more cosmic than anything. Okay. That's where they actually start, right? Now, a lot of us, you know, there's a lot of work that we need. Majority of the work, I'm going to say the most valuable work that you can do as far as healing is in the dream state. This is why it is important for you to know how to sleep, how to go to sleep, how to dream, and things of that nature. Okay. It is important for you to have set your intentions before you go to bed. Okay. Set your intentions of dreaming, set your protection up. I've told you guys before, there is an attempt to activate the soul star, okay, chakra, which sits above the crown chakra. This chakra has been trying to activate itself in a lot of us since 2019. Okay, there has been an attempt to activate the soul star chakra in a lot of us, you guys. Why? When this soul star chakra is activated, you will be able to access the internet in your dream state. You will be able to do so much in the dream state that it is ridiculous. This is the place where we do our most powerful and critical work. But if you go to sleep and you're just allowing yourself to roam, okay, with no intention, with no, you know, just they're just roaming, right? A lot of you, if you dream of, you know, anytime you dream of being in a house, like you should be, sometimes you're in a house, sometimes you could be in a hotel. If you're in a hotel, child, listen. If you find yourself in a hotel a lot, I'm going to say there's a possibility that you're being monitored. Okay. A lot of occults or a lot of, you know, These societies, these secret societies, they create hotels. Hotel is a temporary space. It's not a place that you go to stay. It is a temporary space for just a certain period of time. So whenever you're roaming through a hotel, you guys, there's a possibility that you may be being monitored, which means they're putting you in a hotel while they're using your energy, okay, to do some working. So while you sitting up roaming through a hotel, can't get out, yeah, your energy, your ashe is more than likely being used in the dream state, and they're getting workings done using your energy while they got you sitting in a, it's kind of like a cell. Okay. So yeah, I tell you guys a lot. When you go to sleep, you need to know how to sleep. You need to know how to dream. You need to know how to move throughout. Just like you get up every day here with an intention to go to work, to go to the gym, to go to the grocery store, wherever it is that you're going, you have intentions and you make sure you're aware and you set that intention and you do what it is that you need to do. You need to be doing the same thing when you go to sleep. That's where your most critical and powerful work is going to be. Okay. This is where it's going to help us to get out of the manipulation. This is what's going to change a lot of the programming in your mind. A lot of us think when we're up and we're alert, okay, that we can, we can do so many different things to revitalize ourselves. But when you're trying to fight the spiritual battle, you guys, you got to do it spiritually. You're not going to do it physically, So when you go to sleep, there are certain things, there are certain places you can go. There are certain, actions that you can take. There are certain responsibilities that you have to do. You have to conquer, you have to face certain things, you guys. It's a whole nother world. Do not think that the dream state is just a place where we go when we close our eyes. Y'all, it's a whole other reality that's happening. But if you're not aware and you're not awake, you're not decoding your dreams and things of that nature, y'all, it can be a place that can really just constantly ruin you. That place there is more important than this physical. That dream state is actually a higher state than this physical state. So whatever happens in your dream state is going to determine and is going to be the cause of what happens in your reality. So if you don't know what's happening in your dream state, then of course your third dimensional experience is all out of control and all out of whack. And it's probably not what you want it to be, because it's what somebody else has made it to be for you. So you got to go into the realm where you can make that change. And if you're not going where you need to make that change, then nothing is changing here. Okay. There will be action. Okay. There will be action to, there is action in the dream state, you guys. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of energies coming towards y'all in the dream state. Okay. Pay very close attention to your dreams. There's a lot of energies in the dream state, of course, trying to manipulate you, of course, trying to, offer you food or also be intimate with you. Maybe you're seeing people who's kissing you, all of these people who's coming up to you. They seem so romantic. They seem, just like that's the one and things of that nature. A lot of deception, okay? A lot of deception in the dream state. They can manifest themselves in the form of anybody, but it's not about the physical person. It's about the frequency. So what they do is they know the frequency that you seek. They know the frequency that will make you feel happy and or loved. So they will create that frequency and then they will cloak it inside of either somebody that you know or somebody that they feel you will be attracted to. They put a physical body on it to cloak it in the dream state. Okay. And that's how they're able to lure you in. So, once they lure you in, you guys, it's like you've contracted. There it is. You're in a contract with them. A lot of this was done either in the past or maybe when you were children. Okay. Remember when we're children or when we're young, especially those teenage years, we start to have those erotic dreams and things of that nature. So some of you, will need to do a lot of childhood healing, things of that nature, y'all. And some of you, it could just be things in the past where you were intimate with somebody in a dream state. Okay. You did have that. Ooh, I think when they were younger, they would call it wet dreams or, those just erotic dreams that you have. And, sometimes it don't have to be that way. Sometimes it can be them offering you food. Sometimes they can offer you, money or things of that nature. Anytime you dream of money, the best money or the only money, shall I say, this is just Siren speaking on the Siren Speak show. The only money that you should get in a dream state is when it come out the ground. You probably say, what? You know how you walk and you just find money? It's never handed to you. Whenever there's money handed to you, trust there's a contract behind it. That's a spell. That's a binding spell. Okay. Anything that somebody hands to you in the dream state, no. Okay. If you walk up and you find food or you find a plate of food or, things of that nature, listen, y'all, they're very tricky in the dream state. I'm telling you, they use that Neptune energy to create a lot of false realities or a lot of false, happenings. And we tend to fall for it because we thinking that's like the third dimension. It's not. Okay. It is a very much so manipulated dimension, and you don't want to trust anything that you see over there. Okay. So yes, a lot of you, listen, there's a lot of healing that needs to take place. We need to learn how to dream. We need to learn how to maneuver the fourth and fifth dimension. Okay. If we want to see anything change, because there's too much happening over there that is manipulating us, that is contracting us, and we're just steady getting binded and binded and binded into more and more contracts, y'all. Something as simple as a piece of food. Okay. They will manifest that as a form of, it could be, I told you, they'll offer you pizza. And the minute you take that pizza, you don't know that that's the energy of a contract. To you, it looks like a pizza because they can pull the wool over your eyes. They can make it look like anything that you like. Okay. You can have whatever you like. That's how it is over in the dream state. But you guys really need to definitely, work on yourself, work on your frequency, learn how to dream, learn how to protect yourself. When you go to sleep, you guys, there are so many different things that you guys can do. I've given you guys 50 million things that you can do. We are going to be doing the Self-Care Sunday. I told you guys, go over to spiritualcandies.com and purchase you a slot in Self-Care Sunday. That way you can get more information on what it is that we need to do in the dream state. We'll be having those discussions, you guys. It is like it's just going to be just like this. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm just going to do a regular YouTube link. That way I can keep it. And you guys can watch it back and get anything that you may have missed. But we're going to be discussing these things, you guys. And like I said, we must learn to invest in ourselves. Self-Care Sunday is only, I think, $4.99. That's it. Okay. But it's going to teach you how to dream, how to go to sleep, things that you can, do to prepare yourself before you go to bed, how to place your intentions, how to shield and protect yourself when you go to sleep, and things of that nature. So, for those of you who are interested in this next level of knowledge, you guys, now that we know what's out there, now we must do something about it. A lot of us are getting the knowledge, but we're not doing anything about it, which is then keeping us stuck. But it's because a lot of us have been contracted and binded in the dream state. Okay. And this is why this realm right here feels so stuck and stagnant, as if we're not moving forward. All right. So I'm going to try to come back and go live tomorrow. I hope to see each and every one of you in Self-Care Sunday, you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.